Nobody else is good. They just touch hands? Or they're about to? Okay. And we are live now on YouTube. And we're back live quickly today. We're going right back into this. Our games were back to back. This will be the championship match of the Crusader Classic tournament. I will be sharing a link on my Facebook page, Thomas Platter, if you do not know who I am. Go to my Facebook page, you'll find a link. If you are already on this video, you probably don't need to do that. But if you're watching on YouTube and you ever want to follow me, just go ahead and send me a friend request, and then you'll never miss any games when I go live on my channel as well. As we get ready to come out. And the down ref will verify the roster as the up ref gives the whistle. Actually, the verifying roster is already done, and the up ref gives the whistle to start the match. And the other team serving it first, Charge gets underneath it. Goes to the attack, and we start this quickly. Fails long, though. So this is Oklahoma Charge 16 American team versus Oklahoma Peak 15-2. And Peak picks up the first point and will come back up to the line to serve it out. Charge underneath it right there. Gets to the center. The attack from the center puts it over the net. Peak goes for their own attack, this time finding the hole in the block and putting a point on the board. Scores now 0-2. Charge trails by 2 points as we set back up the serve receive. There's the serve. Backcourt underneath it. Setter bump sets it to the backcourt. We hit it over. Peak right there going to their right side attack off the block, but Charge right there to receive it, but unable to get it under control. And Peak will put another point on the board. Charge now trailing by 3 as we step back up to serve receive. Charge, you have to put a point on the board. There's the serve. They hit it close to the net, a little bit of a joust. They hit it back up, dig it up, keep it alive, and put it back over the net. Peak right there going to their middle attack. Charge backcourt, hits it high into the air, though. We bump it up and go for attack from the backcourt once again. Peak keeps it up and goes for the outside attack. This outside attack falling long and Charge picking up the point is no hands are on the ball. Scores now 1-3. Charge is stepping to the line to serve it up. That's number 10, Lily Wilcox. As we trail by 2 points. Again, scores 1-3. Charge trailing by 2 points as we come up to the line to serve it up. This is the championship match. If you just got done watching our last match, we won it in 3 sets. It was a very close match. This is the championship for this tournament, Crusaders Classic. Oh, they overturned that? And they said it was a touch? Ugh. I didn't think it did, but now they came back up to the line to serve it out. Chargers called as a touch on that last play. We hit it back over the net after it scores now 0-4. Starts trailing by 4. That time it fell inbound, and they pick up another point. Scores now 0-5. Charge trailing by 5. There's the serve. Charge underneath it. Goes from the outside. The attack. Charge pushes the point with the kill from the right side. Scores now 1-5. Charge trailing by 4 is number 10. Lily Wilcox comes up to the line to serve it up. And there's the serve by number 10, putting it over the net. They go for the attack from their right side. Charge is able to get underneath it. Sets it over to our outside, putting it back over the net. They once again go over attack from their outside this time. Charge in backcourt, able to keep it alive. And we go for attack right there. Tooled off the block. It was killed by Maddie Factor, picking up a point right there. And number 10 will come back up to the line to serve it up. Scores 2-5. Charge trailing by 3. Lily Wilcox steps back to the line to serve it up. And there's the serve. Peak gets underneath it, goes to their own attack, charges the net, unable to keep it under control, and it slips through the block and finds the floor in Charge territory. Peak can put another point on the board and Charge to step back up to serve receive. Score 2-6, Charge trailing by 4, as we once again step back up to serve receive. Peak puts it over the net. Charge pushes it back quickly, and the center dump by number 10 picks up another point for your Charge team. And number 8 comes to the line to serve for your Charge team as we trail by 3. Scores 3-6. Puts it over the net. Peak goes to the attack. The Chargers backcourt keeps it alive. And we set it over to the outside. Hit it to the backcourt of Peak. Peak once again sets it to the middle this time. The backcourt keeps it alive in Charge territory. We get underneath it and bump it back over into Peak territory. Peak once again going for the attack. This time the Peak goes wide with their attack, and Charge puts a point on the board as it falls out of bounds. It goes now 4-6 as number 8, Kale, comes back up the line to serve it up as Charge trails by just 2 now. There's the serve. They bump it back over with one touch. Charge sets it to the middle of the attack. Finds the floor. That was number 5, Charlotte with a kill that finds the floor in the backcourt of Peak territory. Unobstructed, did not touch any hands, but it finds the floor in fair territory. Number 8 coming back up the line to serve it up. Charge picks up a point off the kill in that last rally. Scores 5-6. Charge trailing by just 1. They bump it back over the net. Charge backcourt gets it to the center to the middle, bumps it over the net. Peak right there to receive it, getting it back over to Charge territory. Charge bumps it up to the right side. The attack puts it back over to Peak territory. Peak keeps it alive with a dig, bumping it over the net. Charge again to the right side. The attack this time softer, but Peak's able to get underneath it. This time blocking the net to keep it Peak territory. But Peak keeps it off the floor, hits it back over to the backcourt. It falls out of bounds, but the up ref, never mind, up ref calling it as out of bounds. Charge picks up the point, tying it up right there. Wasn't sure what the up ref was doing. He almost called it in. Score 6-6. Charge is all tied up. It's an ace on the serve. Puts another point on the board and gives us the lead. Scores now 7-6. Charge in the lead by 1 point as number 8 will step back up to the line to serve it up. And here's the serve by number 8, putting it over the net. Peak steps up, goes to the attack. The backcourt keeps it up. Keeping it alive with Diggs in the backcourt. We bump it back over to Peak territory. Peak sets up again, goes to their own attack, but they hit it high on the attack. A low attack over the block. Charge goes to the attack from the right side. Strong attack. And Peak unable to get underneath that one. Number 7, Braylon Smith puts the point on the board with a kill. Number 8 coming back up the line to serve it up. Charge leading by 2 now. Scores 8-6 as number 8 serves it up. There's the serve. Peak gets underneath it, goes to the attack. Backcourt keeps it alive. Set it over to the outside. The attack at the net. Peak struggling, but bumps it back over to Charge territory. Charge right there. Sets up this time to the middle. The attack at the net blocked back into Charge territory. The Charge keeps it alive. Going to the right side this time. This time pulled off the block. Braylon Smith with the kill that they tooled off Peak's block, and it went out of bounds. Timeout on the court. Oklahoma Peak calling that timeout. Charge coming up to going into the timeout here. After the timeout concludes, Charge will come back up to the line to serve it up. No, I'm just making sure it didn't. but it is a timeout on the court by the Peak facility. Score is 9-6. Charge in the lead by 3 points now as we step back out on the court after that timeout is concluded. Number 8 coming up to the line to serve it up. That's Kale for your Oklahoma Charge, 16 American team, serving it up after that timeout has concluded. And there's the serve by number 8, putting it over the net. Peak sets it up to their middle. The attack of the net blocked down by number 2. Picking up another point right there for your Charge team. Scores now 10-6 as number 8 will step back up the line to serve it up. Number 8 with the serve. The team gets underneath it. They go from the attack from the middle again. Charge is able to pop it high in the air, keeping it alive. And going for another kill from the right side, cross court. Peak able to bump it up high in the backcourt and bump it over the net. Charge right there to receive it. Sets over to the outside this time. The attack at the net picks up the point as it forces its way through the block. That's a kill by Lillian on the outside. Forces its way through the block and finds the floor in Peak territory. Score is now 11-6. Charge in the lead by 5 points as number 8 serves it up once again. Down the line, but it falls a little wide. And Oklahoma Peak will pick up a point on the service error by Charge. Score is now 11-7. Charge in the lead by 4 points as we once again set to serve receive. And there's the serve. Charge in the backcourt. Picks it up. Bumps it back over to the right side. The attack unsuccessful, and Peak will put another point on the board. Score is now 8-4. My bad. 11-8. Charge in the lead by 3 points as Peak steps back to the line to serve it up. There's the serve. Backcourt underneath it. Sets it over to the outside. A tip at the net. Ball's out of bounds, and Peak will put another point on the board. Scores now 11-9. Charge just in the lead by 2 as we once again set back up to serve receive in the first set of the championship match. Again, this is the last match of the day. If you're watching at home, oh no, ace as the other team serves it and finds the back corner. Good placement. Puts the point on the board with an ace. Scores 11-10 now. Charge leading by just 1 point as Peak steps back up the line to serve it up. There's the serve. Charge underneath it. Bumping it up high. The attack at the net, but blocked back to our side. This time set to the right side. And the attack over the block, but Peak keeps it alive and goes back over to their right side. Charge pops it up high in the air. Again to our right side. Over the block. Backcourt of Peak keeps it up. And they go for the outside attack. Blocked down at the net by number 7. Picking the point up as she softly blocks it back into Peak's territory. Number 5 coming to the line to serve it up next for your Charge team. Number 5, Charlotte putting it over the net with the serve, but it falls long and out of bounds. Scores now 12-11. Charge still in the lead by 1 as we come back out to serve receive. Scores 12-11. There we go. Put it over the net. Charge underneath it. Going for attack from the outside. The backcourt of Peak gets underneath it, and they go back to their right side. This time it's blocked out. Oh, it fell out? I thought it fell in. I guess it was blocked out by Charge. So that ties us up 12-12 right here in this first set, about halfway through this first set. Charge set up the serve receive. We're all tied up. We get underneath that serve, set it up. Attack at the net, but they block it back to our side. Charge picks up the point, though, as Peak is called for the net infraction. Charge once again taking the lead. Scores now 13-12 as number 9 subs in for number 7 subbing out. Number 9, Bethany Whiting will come up to the line to serve it up next for your Charge team as we lead by 1 point. There's the serve by number 9. Peak gets underneath it, sets it all the way out, and Charge will pick up a point off the error by Peak that put it out of bounds. Scores now 14-12. Charge in the lead by 2 as number 9 stepping back up to the line to serve it up. There's the serve once again. Peak underneath it. They set it over to their outside. The attack to the backcourt of Charge. Charge unable to get it. in fair play. And Peak will put another point on the board. Scores now 14-13. Charge trailing are leading by just one as we set back up to serve receive. Peak coming up to the line. Charge set up the serve receive. They get it over the net. Charge right there to receive it. Sets it over to the outside. We bump it over the net. Peak going for the attack from the middle. Finds the back corner unobstructed. Scores now 14-14, all tied up. There's the score. Oh, there's the serve, but it falls just inside fair territory in Charge territory. Peak will put a point on the board and take the lead right there. Scores now 14-15. Charge trailing by just 1 point in this first set. There's the serve. Charge trying to get it in there, but unsuccessful. Peak puts another point on the board and will step back up to the line to serve it up. Scores now 14-16. Charge trailing by 2 now. There's the serve. Into the net. Charge took a point off the service there by Peak. And come back up the line to serve it up themselves. Number 2 stepping up the line to serve it up. That's Lillian serving it up for your Charge team. Get it over the net. They send it over to their outside. The attack goes off the hands of the blockers. The Charge is able to pick it up in the backboard. Go for our own attack from the outside and pick up the point with a kill by number 3, which ties us up right there. Score is 16-16 now, all tied up. As number 2 comes back up to the line to serve it up for your Charge team. There's the serve by number 2. Peak underneath it, sets up high, goes to the attack from the outside. Our backcourt gives it to the center. We set it to the middle. The attack pulled off the block. Another kill, this time from Sam Chaffin, number 1, putting a point on the board with a strong kill that goes off the hand of Peak and out of bounds. We don't know where the ball is now. We're getting the ball back. And number 2 will come to the line to serve it up. That's Lillian coming, serving it up for your Charge team. Again, we're leading by 1 point in this first set of championship match. There's the serve. Peak underneath it. Sets up high to their right side. The block of the net keeps it in Peak territory, but Peak's able to keep it off the floor. They once again go for an attack. This time Charge able to get it over the net, but a little joust. Back to our side. We attack down the line. Peak struggling a little bit, but keeping it under control and putting it back over to our side. Charge once again sets up to the outside. The attack, they block it to keep it on our side. It finds the floor. Scores now 17-17, all tied up in this first set as Charge is set back up to serve receive. Peak will step up to the line to serve it up. Charge set it to serve receive. All tied up 17-17 in the first set of this championship match. There's the serve, backcourt underneath it. Setter going to the outside. The attack puts it over into Peak territory. Peak struggling a little bit, but they go for their own attack. Oh no, Charge unable to get that attack under control, and Peak puts a point on the board as it shanks off Charge's hands and goes out of bounds. Scores now 17-18. Charge once again trailing by 1 as we set back up to serve receive. Out of bounds. Charge fixes the point. Good eye right there. The serve from Peak falls long. And number 4 will step up the line to serve it up next. That's Addison Mann for your Charge team. And here's the serve. Nice serve by Addison Mann, number 4. Peak underneath it, going at the net. We knock it down. They cannot get it over as number 10 picks up a point with a block at the net. Scores now 19-18. Charge leading by 1 as number 4 back up at the line to serve it up. We got number 6 tying the shoe, so we get 1 moment before we have to serve it up. And there's the whistle from the upper ref to start now. Number 4 Addison Mann serving it up for your Charge team. There it is. Peak underneath it. Going to their outside, the attack to the backcourt. Charge keeps it up high, but is unable to get control of it. Peak will tie it back up right there. Scores 19-19. Charge to step back up the service heat. There's the serve by Peak to get it over in one touch. Charge underneath it and come back over here. We tip it over the block, and they hit it wide and out of bounds. Charge to pick up the point right there. As Peak hits it back over the net, but hits it out. Going to get back up the line to serve it up for your Charge team. That's Lily Wilcox serving it up as number 9 and number 7 swap out. 7 coming in, 9 going out. Number 10 serving it up for your Charge team. Ace on the serve goes off the hand of Peak and out of bounds. Scores 21-19. Number 10 back up to the line to serve it up as we lead by 2 now. Again, number 10, Lily Wilcox up to the line to serve it up. There's the serve. Nice low serve. But Peak's able to get control of it and bump it back over the net. Charge right there to receive. Sets it to the middle of the attack. Peak able to pop it up in the air and get it back under control. Charge gets it back over the net. And we go for our own attack. Cross court, finding the floor. That's number 3, Maddie Factor with a kill from the outside that finds the floor in Peak territory. Putting another point on our board. Timeout by Peak on the court. It's timeout. T-O timeout. Both teams in their huddles. Charge leading by 3 points right now as we approach the end of this first set of this championship match at the Crusaders Classic in Oklahoma City. Number 10, Lily Wilcox, back up to the line as both teams come out on the court. There's the serve by number 10. Peak underneath it. Bumping it up high to the outside of the attack. Oh, off the block. Peak will put another point on the board and come up the line to serve it up. Scores now 22-20. Charge still in the lead by 2 as we step back up to serve the feed. There's the serve. Charge just underneath it. Tips up the net. Soft tip makes it over, though. Peak goes for the attack to the backcourt. Charge pops it up high. Bumps it over and keeps it in bounds. Puts it over the net. Peak goes for their own attack. Charge keeps it up in the backcourt. Bumping it high in the air and then bumping it over the net. Picking up a point with the bump. That's going to be number 5, Charlotte, with the kill right there. That finds the floor in Peak territory. Good play. Good recovery by your Charge team on that last rally. Number 8 will come in for number 3 going out. Number 8 will step up the line to serve it up for your Charge team. Serves up over the net. Peak puts it back to Charge territory. Charge backcourt, gets it to the center. Goes to the right side. The attack to the back cross court corner, but they get it back over pretty quick into Charge territory. Charge once again from the right side. This time tipping it over. Can they get it back over? They cannot. Charge picks up the point with the kill by number 7 on the right side. Number 8 coming back up the line to serve it once again. There's the serve. Number 8 putting it over the net. Peak hits it up high. Going for the attack. Block down. Number 5 with the block that keeps it in Peak territory. Closing out that first set. 25-20. That's going to end our first set. And moves on to the second set. Charge winning that first one. 25-20. So we got some stats on the screen right there for that first set. We got a lot of assists for Lily, a couple kills, and an ace. Braylon Smith got 3 kills, 1 block, and Maddie Factor got 3 kills. There were a lot of other good plays in that thing, but it only shows the top 3 performers for that set when they show it on the screen. If you use the Sideline app and you are a parent of one of the athletes, you can go on the app and use it to track your stats for your player. And if you use the QR code on the screen right there to take you to the sideline app, we'll be able to see all of our games and stats for the season. Charge will be serving it up first in this second set as we serve received first in the first set. Down rep is verifying the roster right here, making sure everyone is where they should be. I also am verifying my roster inside the sideline app because I have to keep score and do the line. And number 10, Lily Wilcox will be coming up to the line to serve first in this second set. And up ref's about to give the whistle to start that first serve, and there it is. Number 10 serving it up. There's the serve. Ooh, unsuccessful. First serve, first point goes to Peak off the service error by Charge. And Peak will come to the line to serve it up. There it is. Score 0-1. Charge trailing. And is able to get underneath that serve and put it back over the net. Peak unable to get underneath it, though. It's a kill from Braylon Smith from the outside will find the floor in Peak territory. Number 3 is going to sub out. Number 8 coming in, and number 8 will come up to the line to serve it up. Next for your Charge team. We're all tied up in the second set, 1-1. And number 8, Kale, serving it up for your Oklahoma Charge. 16 American team. Good serve. Puts it over the net. Peak goes to their outside for the attack, and they find the floor in the backcourt. Charge unable to get underneath it. Peak will come back up the line to serve it up. Scores now 1-2. Charge trailing once again by 1 point in this second set. Peak at the line to serve it right now. There's the serve. Into the net it goes. Charge to pick up a point off the service error by Peak now. Scores now tied up once again, 2-2. Number 4, Addison Mann will come to the line to serve it up next for your Charge team. There's the serve. Peak gets underneath it, able to get it back under control, bump it back over to the backcourt Charge. The libero gets into the center to the middle. The attack finds the floor in Peak territory as they're unable to get that ball back up into fair play. Score is now 3-2, and Sam Chapman with a kill from that last rally put at the point. Addison Mann back up the line to serve it up as we lead by 1 point. There's the serve. Peak underneath it, going for an attack from their outside. Over the net, Charge, both jumping and diving for it, but unable to get it under control. That will tie it back up 3-3 in this second set, and Charge will set back up to serve receive. There's the serve. Charge underneath it. Sets it over to the outside. The attack unsuccessful, and Peak will take the lead right there. Score is 3-4. Charge trailing by 1 as we now set back up the service team once again. And there's the serve. Charge underneath it. Oh, they tip it down as the pass is too tight to the net. Score is now 3-5. Charge trailing by 2 as we set back up the service team once again. And here's the serve by Peak. Charge underneath it in the backcourt. Hits it up high there. But unable to get it under control, and Peak puts another point on the board. Peak once again at the line. Charge set up the serve receive as we trail by 3 now in this second set. Not the first set, the second set. Charge gets underneath this serve. Bumps it over to the right side for the set. The attack at the net. Blocked. Tap on Charge territory. Charge once again going for they're going for attack. Charge once again keeping it to Charge picking up the point. I'm not even sure. It was a net infraction on the Peak team. Charge will put it on the point on the board on that net foul by Peak. And Charge will step up to the line to serve it up. Number 7 going out. Number 9 coming in. Number 9 stepping on the line to serve it up next. That's Bethany Whitey will serve it up for your Charge, Steve. There's the serve. He able to get it back into play and back over the net. Charge gets underneath it, sets it to the middle of the attack, puts it back into Peak territory. Peak's able to keep it alive though. Go for their own attack to the back court. Charge once again popping it up high, getting the setter going to the outside of the attack cross court. Puts it back in Peak territory. Peak just time to the middle of the attack to pop it up. They're not successful with that pass. They get it back over in one touch. Charge right there. Sets up, goes for the kill. Again, they block it at the net back down to the Charge territory. Charge is not able to dig it up that time. And Peak puts another point on the board. Scores now 4-7. Charge trailing by just 3 points as we step back up to serve receive in the second set of this championship match. Charge did win the first set. It was a close match, though. And the second set, 4-7 now as we step back up to serve receive. Charge trailing by 3. We're going to need that serve. Oh, no. The attack were unable to get underneath it. And they will pick, Peak will pick the point up and come back up to the line. Scores now 4-8. Starts trailing by 4 points. We once again step back up to serve receive. Here's the serve from Peak. Charge on serve receive as we trail by 4. Gets it up in the backcourt. Sets it over to the right side. The attack puts it over the net. Peak goes to the middle, and they find the floor over by the sideline in Charge territory. Scores now 4-9. Charge trailing by 5 as we once again step back up to serve receive. Charge looking to pick up a point right here and regain the serve. And Peak serving it up. There it is. Charge underneath it. Bumps it up over to the right side. The attack with a push over the net. Charge sets up to their right side. They go for an attack as well. Charge unable to dig it in the backcourt. Scores now 4-10. Charge trailing by 6. And the timeout on the court called by your Charge 16 American team. Both teams will go in the huddle after the timeout concludes. Charge will set back up to serve receive. So far, a close match this championship match. We did win the first one. Scores now 4-10. Charge trailing by 6 points. As this timeout concludes, and both teams come back out on the court. And everyone back on the court. Peak serving it up. Charge back court. Everything fell. Oh, I got to set up all my cameras again. And we're back up. That serve was long. Charge picked up the point. It's 5-10 now. Charge picked up another point right there as they found the floor on the other side. Hold on, I'm going to put these points on the board. Scores now 6-10. Number 2, Lillian, back up the line to serve it. She served it a second ago. She'll serve it again right here. There's the serve. Peek underneath it. Sets up high. Going for an attack from their right side. Charge back foot keeps it alive. Bumps it up. And going for the attack that finds its way through the block. That was Maddie Factor with the kill that puts the point on the board. Number 2 will come back up to the line to serve it up. Number 2 serving it up again. And that time it's an ace on the serve by number 2, putting a point on the board right there with that ace. And there's a serve by number 2 once again. Pick it up high, go for the attack. Oh no! Charge unable to get underneath that attack, and the other team puts a point on the board. Scores now 8-11. Charge trailing by 3. And Peak will be serving it up here. Charge set to serve receive as we trail by 3. Pop it up high, set it up to the outside. The attack at the net unsuccessful. Peak can put another point on the board. Scores now 8-12. There's the serve. Charge underneath it. Dumps it up high. Goes to the attack. Peak is able to pop it up. Are they able to keep it alive? They bump it over the net with a low bump that finds the floor in Charge territory. Scores now 8-13. Charge trailing by 5 as we step back up to serve receive in the second set. There's the serve. Charge gets underneath it. Bumps it up for the right side attack. We hit it over the net to the backcourt. Charge right there going for their own attack. We block it back to their side, finding the floor. That's a block by number 1, Sam Chaffin, that puts the point on the board. Sam will come up to the line to serve it up next for your Charge team. Again, there's number 1, Sam Chaffin at the line to serve it up. There's the serve. They go for the attack cross court, but we keep it alive, set it up high for the backcourt, put it over the net. Peaks right there to receive it. We tip it down at the net and pick up the point as the other team call for the lift. Charge picks up another point right there. Number 1 comes up to the line to serve it once again. And that's number 1, Sam Chaffin, serving it up. And scores 10-13. Charge trailing by 3. They knock it up. We knock it back down, but was called on the net foul. And Peak will put another point on the board and come back up to the line. Scores 10-14. Charge now trailing by 4 as Peak serves it up. Charge goes to the attack of the net, tipping it over. Peak struggling a little bit, but able to bump it back over to the backcourt. Charge the backcourt, getting to the center, set it to the outside. And the attack from the outside successful. That's Matty Factor with the kill, putting a point on the board right there. And regaining that serve. Scores now 11-14. It's number 10. Matty Factor comes to the line to serve it up. And number 10 back up to the line to serve it up. Lily Wilcox as we trail by 3. Scores 11-14 in the second set. Nice serve. So the team gets underneath it, hits it cross court, finds that back corner, and puts a point on the board with the kill. Scores now 11-15. The Peak will step back up the line, and Charge will step back out to serve receive. Peak serving it up. But unsuccessful if they cannot get it over the net. Charge puts a point on the board right there on the service error by Peak. There's a serve by number 8, putting it over the net for your Peak or for your Charge team. Peak pushes it back over with a soft touch, and they find the floor as they put another point on the board. Scores now 12-16. Charge still trailing by 4 as we once again step back up to serve receive. And there's the serve by Peak. Charge underneath it, getting to the setter, setting it to the outside. The attack by number 2. Peak struggled a little bit, but was able to get it back up and over the net. Charge right there to receive, hitting it back over and 1. They tip it back down to our territory, but we get underneath it, go for an attack from the outside, and a set from a libero, and a kill from number 2, Lillian Chaffin, put the point on the board. Or Lillian Cummings, not Chaffin. Lillian with the point on the board right there. Number 4 coming back up to the line to serve it up. That's out of demand, putting it over the net with the serve. The attack blocked at the net, but they get it back up and over. Charge going for another attack from the right side this time, and Peak's able to keep it alive and go for their own attack from their own right side. Blocked back into the territory. Peak once again going for an attack. Charge able to dig it up and get it back over the net. Peak once again, this time from an attack from the middle, and the middle's attack finds the floor in the middle of Charge territory. And Peak puts another point on the board. Scores 13-17. Charge leading or trailing by 4 as we step back up to serve receive. And Peak comes back up to the line to serve it up. Oklahoma Peak back up the line to serve it up. And Charge set up the service speed. Back to the court, picks it up, gets it to the center, goes to the right side. And the attack puts it over the block. The Peak's right there to receive it, sets up to their middle. They knock it over the block. The Charge is not able to get it underneath it. The Peak puts another point on the board. Score is now 13-18. Charge trailing by 5 now as Peak will step back up to the line to serve it up. And there's the serve. Backcourt picks it up and goes for the attack from the outside. Peak's able to get underneath it and go for their own attack from the backcourt middle. Charge is able to get it over to the libero. The attack cross court finds the floor. That was number 1, Sam Shafton with the kill. That puts the point on the board right there. Number 7 will sub out. Number 9 coming in. Number 9 goes up to the line to serve it up after Charge picks up a point with the kill by number 1. Yeah. Scores now 14-18. Charge trailing by 4. Number 9 puts it over the net with the serve. Pete goes for their own attack from the right side. Charge unable to dig it up. All for the double. Now it's 14-19. It goes out of the bounds on Charge. Score is now 14-19. Charge trailing by 5 once again as Pete steps back to the line to serve it up. There's the serve. Out of bounds. Charge picks up a point off the service there. Good eye for Charge. Able to not touch that ball as it goes long and out of bounds. Score is 15-19. Charge trailing by 4. Number 2 puts it over the net with the serve. Peak underneath it. Sets up to their middle. The attack from the middle. Picking it up. Picking up a point right there that goes off the hand of Charge and out of bounds. Timeout called to the court for Oklahoma Charge, Michigan America's team. Charge trailing by 5 as we go into this timeout. After the timeout concludes, Charge will set up the serve receive, and Peak will be there to serve it over the net. Again, this is the second set of this championship match. Charge did win the first set, and right now we're hoping to come back and win the second set. Score is 15-20. Like I said, Charge trailing by 5 as we step back up to serve receive as this timeout concludes. And both teams back on the court. Peak up at the line. There's the serve from Peak. Charge underneath it. Pops it up high. Oh, Charge picks up the point as Peak's called for the overreach on the serve. Or on the attack. Basically, they reached over the net when they shouldn't have. They were trying to set it and they tried to reach over. The Charge coming back up the line to serve it up. Number 1, Sam Shafton up at the line. Good serve. Peak. Oh, no. Peak. Will they be able to get it back over? They will. It did bounce off the ceiling over there. Charge sets up with a nice jump set. Peak's able to get back underneath it and put it back over to our side of the net. Charge sets up to the right side again. This time the attack from number 10 puts a point on the board. Score is now 17-20. Charge trailing by 3 as number 10 got the kill that last round. Number 1 putting it over the net with serve. Peak underneath it going to attack from the right side. Blocking the net. Can Peak get it back over? They can. They're able to recover that. Charge right there to receive it. Setting over to their outside again. This time the attack cross court. Peak's able to get underneath it. Push it back over in 2 touches. Charge once again going for the attack from their outside. Peak once again able to pop it up in the air and get underneath it. Bump it back over to Charge territory. Charge sets up right here to the middle. This time the attack finds the floor. The kill by number 5 in the front row. Picks up a point right there. Number 1, Sam Chapman back up the line to serve it up. And there's the serve. They set it up, go for the attack. Backcourt pops it up in the air. We bump it back over to Peak territory. Peak sets up high, goes to the middle attack. Charge gets underneath it, keeps it alive in the backcourt with a great dig, and then bumps it back over to Peak territory. Peak sets up, goes for an attack from the right side. Charge able to get underneath it, set it up. Whoa, what happened? Charge called for the double, and Peak puts a point on the board. Scores now 18-21. Charge trailing by 3 points once again as we step back up to serve the seed. Peak serving it up once again. Charge underneath it. Sets up to the outside. The attack finds the floor, even touching the hands of the blockers. That was number 3, Natty Factor, with another kill, putting a point on the board. Scores now 19-21 as number 10, Lily Wilcox, will come back up to the line to serve it up. Number 7 and number 9 swapping out again. 7 coming in, 9 going out. Number 4 also subbed out in for number 1 subbing out. Number 10, Lily Wilcox, back up to the line to serve it up. There's the serve. Peak gets underneath it, hits it too close to the net, jumped up and tipped down by number 7 at the net, putting a point on the board. And Braylon Smith tipping it down, adding a point to our side. Scores now 20-21. Charge only trailing by 1 as number 10 serves it back up once again. There's the serve. This time the serve falls long, and Pete can put a point on the service error by Charge. And there's the serve once again. Charge underneath it. Bumps it up high to the right side, or the outside. We flip it over the net. And Peak's able to pick it back up and bump it back to our territory. Charge steps up to the right side. The attack down the line, but this attack unsuccessful as it falls out of bounds. Scores now 20-23. Charge trailing by 3 points here towards the end of the second set of championship match. Peak serving it up. Charge set to serve the seed. Backcourt underneath it. Keeping it alive. Oh no! So they lose it in the backcourt and cannot get it back over the net. Charge 20-24. Charge trailing by 4 as the first match point attempt for the Peak team. As Charge hoping to pick up a point right here and come back in the second set. There's the serve. Backcourt gets it up in the air, pops it up to the right side. The attack cross court, but Peak right there to receive. They bump it back over the net with a short bump. Charge sets it over to the outside, and the attack puts it back into Peak territory. Peak struggles a little bit, but bumps it back to the backcourt to Charge. Charge once again sets up, this time to the middle. The attack goes over the block, but Peak's able to get underneath and keep it under control. Going for their own attack from the right side. The Charge pops it up high, puts it back over the net. Peak once again setting up, this time to their right side, or their outside. Charge blocks it back to their territory. They hit it close, and Charge hits it, but apparently it doesn't touch hands, and we got to go into a third set here as that closes out the second set, 20-25. We will be moving on into a third set of this championship match. Final score on that second set was 20-25. Charge sets up in this third set. Again, we're just concluded the second set, and we're going to be moving to a third set. It is 1-1. We won the first set 25-20. Lost the second set 20-25. Very close matches here. As it's anyone's game here as we move into the third set. Whoever wins this third set will come home champions today. Third set's only go to 15 points. Charge hoping to reach that 15 first. Both teams coming back out on the court after the timeout, or after the second gets ready to start back out, after the end of the second set. Getting ready to start the third set, both teams coming back out. Both teams back out on the court now. Charge will be set up to serve receive first in the third set as Pete prepares to serve it up. There's the serve. Charge underneath it. Gives it the center. We go to the right side. The attack puts it over there and it finds the floor. That was a kill by Matty Factor that put the point on the board right there. Matty will sub out for number 8 coming in. That's Kale coming in. Scores now 1-0. Charging the lead. It's number 8 serves it up. Nice serve. Peak gets underneath it, bumps it back over to Charge territory. Number 8 gets it to number 10. The setter goes to the right side. The attack blocked by Peak back to our side. Oh no, and into the net we go. Charge call for the net foul, and Peak picks up the point. Score is all tied up now 1-1 as we step back up to serve receive. There's the serve. Peak underneath it, sets up to the outside. The attack was called long and out of bounds. I thought there was a touch, but the upper ref did not call a touch. So 1-2, Charge trailing by 1 point now as Peak serves it once again. Our backcourt gets underneath it. We get it to the middle. We tip over the net. Peak right there to receive, hitting it up high and going for their own attack. Charge unable to get underneath that attack as it finds the middle of the floor in Charge territory. Scores 1-3 now. Charge trailing by 2 points as we step back up to serve receive in this third set of our championship match. And there's the serve. Out of bounds. Charge picks up the point on the service there and will step back up to the line to serve it up. Number 4 coming up the line to serve it up now for your Charge team. There's the serve. They'll put it up high in the air. Pete goes to the attack. He goes off the block and out of bounds. Pete picks up the point right there. Will come back up to the line to serve it up. Score 2-4. And Peak will come back up the line to serve it up. Charge step back up to serve receive as we trail by 2 in this third set. There's the serve. Backcourt underneath it. Pops it up high. Setter bumps sets it to the right side. The attack strong, but Peak able to get underneath it and go for their own attack. This time it falls wide and out of bounds. Charge to put another point on the board right there off the error by Peak, knocking it out. Scores now 3-4. Charge trailing by just 1 as we step back up to serve. Number 7 swapping out with number 9 coming in. Number 9, Bethany Whitey, up to the line to serve it up next for your Charge team as we trail by just 1 point. There's the serve by number 9. Peak gets underneath it, bumps it up high, goes to the attack. We're not able to keep it off the floor and dig it back up as it makes it past the block. Scores now 3-5. Charge trailing by 2 as we step back up to serve receive. There's the serve. Charge trying to get underneath it, but unable to keep it alive. Peak put another point on the board right there and coming back on the line to serve it up. Score 3-6. Charge trailing by 3. We get underneath that serve right there. Sets in the middle. The attack finds the floor and goes off the hand of the block of the other team. That's Sam Chapman with the kill, putting a point on the board. Scores now 4-6. Charge trailing by just 2 as we step back up to serve receive. Or step back up to serve it. Number 2, Lillian up the line. There's the serve. Ace on the serve, they knock it out, and number 2 will step back up the line to serve it once again. Number 2 serving it up after an ace on that last serve. Peak gets underneath it, hits it over the net in one touch. Charge sets up, goes to the attack. They block it back to our side, and Peak picks up a point as Charge is unable to dig it off the net. There's the serve by Peak. Charge. Charge picking up the point as Peak overreached. Peak overreached the net. And Charge picks up the point and comes back up to the line. Sam Chapman, number one, coming up to the line to serve it up. Scores now 6-7. Charge just trailing by one as number one serves it up. Nice serve. Peak underneath it, though. Bumping it back into Charge territory. Charge pops it up in the air with a bump, bumps it over to the right side, and goes for attack cross court. And that cross court attack will pick up a point with, well, whatever. I think I put that in wrong. But whatever. Score 7-7. Charge picks up the point right there. Number one steps back up the line to serve it up. And the serve was unsuccessful. Peak can put a point on the board off the service error by Charge. Scores now 7-8. Charge trailing by one once again as he step back up the line to serve it up. As Peak steps back up the line to serve it up. And we step back up to serve receive. Bumped up, but not over. Charge call with the foretouch. Peak puts another point on the board and comes back up to the line. Score 7-9. Peak stepping up to the line to serve it. Charge trailing by two. There's a serve. Charge tips it over the net. So call for overreach on Charge. Peak puts another point on the board and will step back up to the line. Score is now 7-10. Charge goes to the attack on the outside. They dig it back up on our side, but we're unable to get it back over the net. Finds the floor as they block it down to our side. Timeout. Charge on the court. Score 7-11. Charge trailing by 4 points as we set back. We go into this timeout. After the timeout concludes, we'll come back out to serve receive. Again, score 7-11. Charge trailing by 3 points. 4 points and step back up to serve receive after this timeout concludes. And both teams comes back out on the court. Peak going for the serve. Charge underneath it. Bumps it up high. Sets it to the right side. The attack blocked and picks up the point as it falls out of bounds off the hands of the other team. Number 10, Lily Wilcox back up on the line to serve it up for your Charge team. And there's the serve by number 10. Peak gets underneath it, bumps it up high in the backcourt, and bumps it over to Charge territory. Charge bumps it to the center, sets it to the right side. The attack off the block. The Charge unable to get it back under control with the falls on our side of the court. Scores now 8-12. Charge trailing by 4 as we step back up to serve receive. Timeout once again on the court. Charge. Both teams going to the huddle. After the timeout concludes, Charge will step back up to serve receive as we trail by 4 points in this third and final set of the day. Let's see that. And there's the whistle to get back into gameplay. Peak serving it up as they lead by 4. Charge underneath that serve, gets to the center, sets it to the right side. The attack cross court finds the floor. That was a kill by number 3, Maddie Facto, puts another point on the board. And number 3 will sub out with number 8. Number 8 coming in to serve it up after number 2 picked up a kill in that last rally. Scores now 9-12. Charge is trailing by 3 as number 8 back in the line. There's the serve by number 8. Peak underneath it. Sets it up high. Bumps it up to the right side. The attack falls long and out of bounds. Charge pushes the point. as it goes out of bounds on Peak. Number 8 back up in the line to serve it up. Charge only trailing by 2 is number 8. Puts it over the net. Peak right there to receive it. Sets up to their outside. The attack cross court finds the floor in the back corner. Peak puts it in the point of the board. Charge once again trails by 3. Score is 10-13. Charge trailing by 3 as we step back up to serve receipt. There's the serve. Charge underneath it. Nice dig. And they go over attack from the outside. They bump it up high, get it back over the net. Charge going for the attack from the opposite side now, from the right side. Peak, or no, yeah, Peak puts it back over with a tip. Charge again going to the right side and bumps it down the line. Peak once again sets up, goes for their own attack at the net. The Charge knocks it wide, keeping it alive though. They put it back over into Charge or Peak territory. Peak sets up, goes for the attack off the block. Charge knocks it up high, but unable to keep it under control in the backcourt. And Peak picks up a point. Score is now 10-14. First match point attempt by Peak in this third set. Charge hoping to pick up a point right here and keep this game going. Charge trailing by 4 points. There's the serve. Charge underneath it, bumping it up high. Sets it over to the outside. The attack puts it over the net. Peak right there. Sets up to their outside. Tips it over the block. And Charge unable to get underneath that. And that will close out the third set and the match and the game for the Crusader Classic. We came in second. So that's a good finish. So we're looking for that first place. No problem. Next time. Again, thank you for watching your Oklahoma Charge 16 American team and being a fan. Like and subscribe, and you'll never miss a game. And until next time, thank you very much.